Combustion and flame. Combustion and flame. We use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry, and for running automobiles. All these fuels provide us energy when burnt. The chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat and light is called combustion. The substance that does not undergo combustion is called non-combustible. The combustible substance that is used to produce energy at a reasonable cost is called products of combustion. When a fuel burns with enough oxygen to support the burning process, complete combustion is said to have taken place. For example, when methane is burnt in the presence of enough oxygen, carbon dioxide and water are formed and energy is released. CH4 methane plus 2O2 oxygen leads CO2 carbon dioxide plus 2H2O water plus energy. As opposed to this, when sufficient oxygen is not available to support the burning of a fuel, incomplete combustion occurs. The incomplete combustion of methane produces carbon monoxide, water, and energy. Conditions required for combustion. The conditions necessary for combustion to take place are presence of a combustible substance, presence of air, that is oxygen, heating of the combustible substance to its ignition temperature. Combustion does not occur in the absence of any of these conditions. The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire in the presence of air is called its ignition temperature. Inflammable substances. The substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Examples of inflammable substances are petroleum, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, kerosene, etc. Types of combustion. When we bring a burning matchstick or a gas lighter near a gas stove in the kitchen and turn on the knob of the gas stove, we observe that the LPG burns rapidly to produce heat and light. Such combustion is known as rapid combustion. There are substances such as phosphorus which burn in air at room temperature as its ignition temperature is 35 degrees. The type of combustion in which a material suddenly bursts into flames without the application of any apparent cause is called spontaneous combustion. When a cracker is ignited, a sudden reaction takes place with the evolution of heat, light, and sound. A large amount of gas formed is liberated in the reaction. Such a reaction is called explosion. Extinguishing a fire. We regularly hear of or read about accidents such as fire breaking out in homes, shops, and factories. Such an accident may be disastrous and fatal if not controlled in time. Hence, fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these conditions. Thus, the methods of extinguishing a fire are as follows. Removal of combustible substances. This method is successful in case of small fire, but is not possible in case of fire which is widespread, as the whole area becomes the combustible substance. Cooling the combustible substance below its ignition temperature. This method generally uses water to cool the combustible substance, but it succeeds only in case where paper or wood is on fire. Water is not used in electrical fire, as water conducts electricity and may harm those trying to douse the fire. It is also not used in case of oil or petrol fires, as both oil and petrol are lighter than water. Oil and petrol float on it and keep burning, cutting off the supply of air. Carbon dioxide is used to cut off air supply as it does not support combustion. Also, it is heavier than air and forms a blanket around fire. This method works well in electrical, oil and petrol fires. Fire extinguishers. The simplest fire extinguisher is the fire extinguisher. It is in the shape of a soda acid metallic tube which is filled with highly compressed carbon dioxide. It makes use of the properties of acids to react with metallic carbonates and bicarbonates to liberate carbon dioxide. When its lever is depressed, carbon dioxide is forced out at high pressure and brisk effervescence, and the fire is extinguished. Flame. The region where the combustion of fuel takes place is called flame. A flame may be blue, yellow or orange in color. The color of the flame depends on its temperature and the substance that is being burnt. It is not necessary that all the combustible substances that burn produce a flame. Some produce a flame while some do not. Structure of a flame. The flame is spindle-shaped and has different colors in different regions. The flame of a candle is complex and has 3 zones. These zones having different colors are the dark innermost zone, or the zone of no combustion, is the least hot. It is the innermost zone of the flame which covers the area surrounding the wick and is made up of unburnt vapors produced by the melting of the wax. These vapors do not have any contact with the oxygen and hence do not burn. Luminous middle zone, or the zone of incomplete combustion, is moderately hot. It is the middle zone of the flame. Here, the oxygen supply is inadequate and hence the vapors do not burn completely. The heat produced converts these vapors into carbon particles, which when extremely hot produce a yellowish light. This yellow flame also leaves behind black soot and other residues. Non-luminous zone, or the zone of complete combustion, is the hottest part of the flame. It is the outermost part of the flame. Here, complete combustion of the wax vapors take place because of the sufficient supply of oxygen. The flame appears blue and it leaves behind no residue. There is a small region at the base of the wick where carbon monoxide burns with a blue flame. It is called blue zone. How does a candle burn? A candle really is an amazing lighting system. It is made up of 2 parts which work together as a flame. These 2 parts are as follows. The wax, paraffin wax, which is made from crude oil and serves as fuel. The wick, which is made of an absorbent material. Fuel. We know that the sources of heat energy for domestic and industrial purposes are mainly wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, etc. These substances are called fuels. A fuel is a combustible substance which on burning releases heat, light and energy. The characteristics of a good fuel are as follows. It has a low ignition temperature. It produces a large quantity of heat. It has a moderate rate of combustion. It is safe to store, handle and transport. It does not cause pollution. It leaves behind little or no residue on burning. It is cheap and easily available. Fuel efficiency. The amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel is called its calorific value. The calorific value of a fuel is expressed in a unit called kilojoule per kilo, kJ per kg. Impact of burning fuels on the environment. The increasing fuel consumption has harmful effects on the environment. These harmful effects are as follows. 1. Carbon fuels like wood, coal, petroleum release unburnt carbon particles. These fine particles are dangerous pollutants which cause respiratory diseases such as asthma. 2. Incomplete combustion of these fuels produces carbon monoxide gas, a very poisonous gas. It is dangerous to burn coal in a closed room.